why do a safety audit? In this video, I'm going to talk to you guys about the benefits and the reasons to perform safety audits or safety inspections. The first one is compliance. OSHA does not require you complete audits. However, they do recognize that they're part of a good, healthy safety plan. It'll make it easier for your company to find areas that you could go out of compliance or that you're currently out of compliance. OSHA itself can actually conduct audits on your company and on your safety program, so it's better to be ahead of them, know the kind of things that they're looking for, and take steps to reduce the likelihood of getting a fine if you are audited. But other compliance agencies actually do require that you perform audits, so make sure that you're looking into the agencies that you do have to keep up on, making sure that you're staying up on those audits. One of them is Department of Transportation. I think that most companies that have those requirements probably know that at this point already. But worth mentioning, the thing that I would recommend is get a third party to come and audit your facilities or come and audit your company. They're going to see things that you guys probably don't see. The fresh eyes just gives them a chance to come in and look at your company, find things that you guys might miss, that you overlook. Typically, audit agencies are going to be familiar with changes or in regulations, or they're going to be able to help you meet them. You're not going to have to worry about fines or anything like that. But the biggest thing is those fresh eyes. You really can't get that yourself, so I would highly recommend it. So the other reason that audits are really important is because you care about your employees. You want them to know that you're taking steps to keep them safe, that you're taking steps to make sure they're in a good, healthy environment. And they should reduce your incident rate. Audits give insight into the effectiveness of your environmental health and safety programs. They give you good insight into what you're doing that's good. They give you good insight into what you're doing that maybe should be changed. And I would involve your employees in those audits. Maybe there's something that they're seeing that you're not seeing. Make sure that you're grabbing people that are like floor level type of workers. You grab people that are in management. You grab people that are in upper management, right? Make sure that everyone is involved in that. It doesn't need to be a huge involvement, but make sure that you're getting feedback. They're just an easy way to improve all three of your environmental, your health, and your safety. It's just a great way to measure, especially over time. You're going to see, are we improving? Are we continuing to see these issues? There's a few different methods that you can use to give you a numerical value that'll tell you whether or not specific parts of your program are healthy or not, like on a scale of 1 to 10. And I'm happy to help out with that. If you reach out to me, just contact me either through Facebook or Instagram. Contact us through the contact link on Basic Safe. They're a good way to find issues before they're issues. For example, if you have a piece of machinery, you've always used it one way, but maybe it's not the safest way to use it. No one's ever been hurt, but frequency, right? Like the more often that machine is being used, the more likely that someone could be hurt by it. So just being aware of those kind of things. That's what audits and inspections are good for. In general, a good safety audit should reduce injuries, which is good for your employees and better for your bottom line. Less injuries, less insurance, less money out with the injury itself, less training, less new hires, all that kind of stuff. So what are the kinds of things that you should include in your safety audits? You can review your policies and procedures. That's a good way to see, do they need updated? Are these super out of date? I mean, I've talked to companies that their policies and procedures haven't been updated in 7 years, 8 years, 10 years. That's crazy, guys. I would highly recommend once a year on that, even if it's just a quick or a brief review, going over what you currently have, making sure there's nothing just glaringly obvious. This is another thing where a third-party reviewer is going to be able to come in and offer an unbiased set of eyes to just tell you where they think you can improve. I would recommend finding someone with experience in your industry, just because they're going to have a practical insight into things that can change. Sometimes people that aren't used to your industry might have great insight, but it's not something you can practically implement. So I would just be wary of that. Another good thing to measure in those audits is your employee and manager engagement with safety. How familiar are the employees with your safety program, what you have going on, and the machinery, how you should use it? and how on board are they with it? Familiarity is one thing, but how much do they actually want to support it, and how much are they working on supporting it? Another thing to go over is compliance with OSHA's rules and regulations. And not just OSHA, but if you have other regulating agencies, make sure you're going over MSHA, make sure you're going over DOT, any of those regulating agencies. Make sure you go over your current EHS documentation. Are you getting all the documentation that you need to have? For example, your trainings that are taking place and the scores that employees are getting on those. Just review those, see if you're missing anything, see if there's anything that you could be grabbing that would just add more to your current program. If someone comes and checks it out, they're not going to have any questions, any issues. Make sure that you go through a site walkthrough. This is a big one, guys. Make sure that you're looking at your current machinery, your equipment, look at your employees. Is everybody wearing the correct PPE? Are they observing good practices to keep themselves and other employees safe? Look for glaring issues in machinery, walkways, anything like that that could cause an issue, an injury, or an illness. The biggest thing here is making sure your employees are actually safe. So that's the kind of stuff you're looking for. Another really important piece that you can include in your audits or inspections is hazard-specific inspections. And what I mean by those is a rating matrix that looks at what is the hazard and what is the fallout essentially for that hazard if something is to go wrong with it, and then what are the solutions that are in place to prevent that from going wrong, such as engineered solutions, policies, workarounds, that kind of stuff. And the other thing is training review. I would highly recommend looking at your current training, look at the type of retention that you're getting with your training. Is there any way that your training can be improved? Is there any new content out there that will make your training better? Can you improve what you have yourself just by images or videos? Always help with retention. Little bit off topic here, but in the training realm, worth looking into VR. The retention rate on virtual reality or augmented reality is pretty good. I would look into like 360 immersive is a good source to look into that. But look at the retention of your training, look at places that it can be improved, look at your training records, make sure you have all the records that you need. That's a really big one. When OSHA shows up, a lot of times they want to see your training records. They want to see what employees are trained on what and when they were trained and what their score was. So there's a lot to look at here. There's probably more things. Feel free to leave things in the comment. I can always update the video if I need to. But when you're looking for these kinds of things, feel free to reach out, look at the resources that are available to you. Basic Safe is a great one. So you can reach out to us. We can help you with these kind of things. We have companies in your industry, I promise, that are doing well, that have inspections or audits. A lot of times they're willing to share them because as a company, we believe safety is for everybody. And so we want you to have those that resource library. We want you to feel like you're being supported as a company and that you're doing everything that you can to keep your employees safe, make your job easier, and save money. I mean, that's important, right? You got to make sure that whatever you're doing in your business makes business sense. Take a look at the link we have below. You should be able to go directly to our website. Check us out on Facebook, Instagram, or on Twitter. And don't forget to leave comments what you think about the video here. Were the tips good? Did you get any value out of them? I want to know. Thanks for taking the time, guys, and see you next time.